It's Yash. I'm trying to destroy this obsession that people have with female attraction. Okay? So let's talk about, because the title's about pure female attraction. Well, what's not pure? Let's talk about that first. I'd say there's 3 levels when we're talking about attraction, or why you can say a man and woman are together. Lowest level is if it's for just economic security, money, wanting to use him just to have a kid and then see you. Maybe she likes his genes and stuff. She's like, yeah, I want to have a baby with him. You see, and it's cool if they admit that. If you're a girl and you want a guy to have a kid. Marianne Williamson did that. She had a bunch of money, and I don't know the details if she just paid him off or whatever, but Madonna didn't she do something similar like that also? I mean, yeah, it helps to have money, I guess, but just be honest. They were honest. They didn't want to be in a relationship and marry. They just wanted a baby. They're a woman, and they wanted to experience that. So if they're using you, if a woman's using you if she's attracted to you for that, or maybe she has some psychological problems, emotional problems, she wants to be with you for that, to get, because you ground her. She wants somebody to keep talking to unload all this garbage in her mind on you, basically. So then, because when you talk about stuff, and it can release it a little bit, but then it comes right back. And she'll call you an hour later with some other garbage, and she don't want to hear about transcending. She just wants somebody to dump her garbage on. There's guys that fall into that because they're weak, they're insecure inside. They just want to feel, oh yeah, somebody's paying attention to me. But they don't know that. They can't. Their ego won't let them do that level of introspection. They tell themselves, no, I'm helping people. So you got to catch that. Those, or she just wants to use you. You have some status. Girls usually like status. You have some high position. Maybe you're a government official, or you're a well-renowned book writer, or teacher, or actor, or whatever, director, producer. They'll be attracted to you for that, maybe. So all these things, you get the gist. Those are superficial reasons of attraction, and it will never work. These people will not be happy together. Unless maybe if the guy is in such a dull space also, then they kind of match somehow. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but there's no depth. They don't care. They don't want depth. They don't know what depth is. But for somebody that has some depth, you can see them together and you're like, whoa. They don't even know each other. There's been women who have had a consult with me, and inside of 30 minutes, we have more intimacy than she has with her husband or boyfriend maybe she's been with for decades. This is truth. But something in them they don't want that, or they're scared of it. They don't talk about stuff. They don't get down to the real issues. When stuff comes up, they just sweep it under the carpet. Let's forget about it. Let's have sex, sexualize it away. Let's not make any waves here. I could never do that. That's why my relationships, they didn't last so long. They were super intense. We were together like you were with me for 6 months, it'd be like a lifetime. Because man, we get into it. There's no wasted moment in those 6 months. So that was fun. I liked them. I don't think they liked him as much as me, but so that's the lowest level stage, when there's just some motives are just selfish. Next level, this is a little higher. These are the ones that I pretty much had. I couldn't do the first one, obviously. A lot of you can, because it's just like what? I'd rather go get a prostitute than to just, that's what they are anyway. They're like paid prostitutes, but they don't call it that. People don't know, she's my girlfriend. Right. So the next one is when there's some karmic affinity. You guys might have been together in a previous life or something. And don't worry about it. If you don't believe that stuff, it doesn't matter. But here's my point. When you guys meet, there's like this chemistry, this instantaneous, spontaneous. It's like you felt like you've known them for a long time, like way beyond this life. Hence, probably met them on another plane. of existence and spent time, and so you've already developed this chemistry. Because how can you meet somebody and then within 1 minute you got more chemistry than another couple, maybe they've been together for 10, 20 years? How? Yeah, it's already been cultivated. Those are good ones. Those are fun, and I like them a lot. What was I going to say? You feel like you're with yourself on some level. And when you go out together, it's like you're one. That shining that comes through, some people want to call this twin flames, and there's all these concepts and words we can use, but who cares? What matters is what matters. You guys connect. And then when you're together, like other people see it. Like your light potentiates her light and vice versa, and you just like lighten up. Yeah, those are good ones. It's not the highest though. Next level. Because see, there's still duality in that level. There's still expectation. It might take a while for that to come out. First 90 days might be heaven. But then the subconscious character of what it really wants starts to come out. I just got a donation for, I think, $5 from somebody, maybe in India. I just want to, that reminded me though, I want to thank everybody that gives these donations. I appreciate that. And you know I do, because I tell you I do when I send you a message back when you give me those. And yeah, because this is how I live in a world where I have to earn money too, you know, and I do that usually by donations and consultations, and I try to live simple. So thank you for that donation coming up to remind me to tell you guys, the girls too. There's still duality when we're in this above average level of nice karmic affinity and chemistry in a relationship. Usually after not, I don't know, depends how intense you guys are and how much. Just depends on a bunch of factors. It could be 3 months, 6 months, a year. If you don't look at nothing and just, you know, or see each other once in a while, or it can take longer. But if you're really in it, it can come up pretty fast. And this is what I'm saying. All of a sudden, the subconscious character, what we really want, maybe that we're not aware of because we don't do introspection, that stuff starts to come up. Our expectations, our needs, so-called. They're inordinate needs usually, but nevertheless, we think they're real. And then we start projecting that on our partner. And then she or he does the same thing back to us. And then the drama starts. It's like, I just want you to fulfill my expectations. I don't want to, you know, leave me like, I'm cool. I help you and do everything. I don't know what you're saying. Just all the selfishness comes out. And then to make things more complex is that women and men are wired differently. So then the whole perception of what she's saying, like, doesn't make sense to me. And then what I'm saying, it doesn't make sense to her, and all that. And also what comes out is this natural born instinct in a lot of women who they want to have a kid. And they want to start domesticating the guy somehow. I can't help it, you know. Maybe the guy don't want to be domesticated. He just wants to keep hanging and having fun, you know. And so all that, right, causes trouble. Therefore, the highest stage, next stage, is when both people are drawn to each other for the sole purpose of self-realization or waking up to who they are, their true nature. You can call that student, teacher, guru, disciple, whatever. This is highest because that's pure. They don't have any expectations, personal expectations. It's like one of the beings see the other being. It can be man or woman. Usually it's man, generally speaking, because a woman's nature is more to fuse and merge with the man. The man's nature, masculinity, is more playing the role of stable. And so then it's usually the woman that's drinking from the man's realization. But there's no higher or lower. See, the mind will come in and be like, oh, she needs him, she's lower. No, it's not like that. It's as much of a benefit for the man who's imparting this as it is for the woman that's receiving it. See, the mind will judge because it needs black and white and duality, and it paints a picture and concept like, oh, somehow the man's higher and the woman's lower, and it's not like that. So when one of the beings Gangaji is a good example. She was a disciple of Papaji, same as Muji, and she, her husband was basically her disciple, and then I guess he got self-realized at some point. Anyway, but usually it's the man that's imparting the wisdom, but imparting the wisdom to who? To his own self. See, they're on that level. He's not looking at her like some personal human individual, because he himself knows he's not a personal human individual either. He's consciousness, and she's consciousness, and consciousness is helping itself grow in this evolutionary game and form. You see, that's realized. They both know it. She also knows. She also knows that her essence is pure, but yet for the game, she somehow needs to evolve so that there's more of a fusion between this human construct self and the source self. And he knows that too. So it's not like, you understand, there's no ego there. But see, that's pure. This is pure. Because he's not in it for sex or arm candy. She's not in it for emotional or economic security. No, they're in it for the real deal. Like, I want to wake up and know my true nature. When that's the sole purpose, you got God with you. He's backing this whole thing. He's backing everything anyway, because there's lessons to be learned in the other stages before we can actually get to this stage as a reality. But in this last stage, you see, Spirit's there, because that's where your mind and everything's tuned on. So if you're focused only on your spiritual growth in nature, then it's gonna come faster. Obviously, if we're focused on making a bunch of money and buying cars, then you're gonna be able to get that better. It's all logical and mathematical. Let me know how that video worked for you, if it was okay. All right.